not all is well at Kansas City in that regard. But I tell you what, man, there's a place in the Northeast that is doing very well, and they started off probably the hottest of any team that could in history. And let's just watch their first three pitches.
Paul Goldschmidt, first time in his career he will ever lead off. So he's leading off. Bellinger bats second, Judge third. Chisholm's cleaning up. Then it's Volpe, Wells, the newest Yankee Pablo Reyes. Jason Dominguez will DH and hit eighth. And batting ninth and playing center field, it is Trent Grisham.
Does he have any new tricks for the Yankees?
Goldschmidt swings at the first pitch and lofts it to left center field and deep. Mitchell back, track, wall, see ya! There's a leadoff hitter, 1-0 Yanks.
Yeah, Paul Goldschmidt, first of the year. I mean, you look at opening.
Should have been out on that one.
That was right out of the chute. Kind of a awkward leadoff hitters for both of them. Home runs right off the bat.
That is the first
Goldschmidt is so solid,
by
though.
a Yankee first baseman in 67 games. Bellinger lost one.
Yeah, this starting lineup is impeccable, man.
Into the bleachers. See ya.
As long as Bellinger knows where he's at, he's going to be good. It's just the problem is he doesn't know where he's at half the
One of
time.
the boxes always want to get that first home run out of the way.
If there's a butterfly in outfield, you better hit it towards Cody Bellinger because he's not going to pay attention to the baseball.
Working the count.
Pretty bird, pretty bird.
That one's driven deep to left field. There it goes.
I mean, it's so dumb.
Yeah, it's so dumb.
3 pitches, 3 home runs.
3-0 Yankees.
All right, Michael, how do you top this as a first inning? 3 pitches, 3 home runs. The Yankees on fire here early.
First time in Yankee history, leading off a game with 3 straight home runs on 3 pitches.
That's
Yeah, and that's just the first 3 pitches because
Right.
even the fourth batter hit a home run, but his lame ass couldn't do it in one hit, or one swing. I think on the third one is when he got it. It's like it's absolutely crazy. They've been setting records, but yeah, Josh, I mean, kind of elaborate on the Yankees and what they're doing and how are they cheating, man?
they used math and a physicist, I believe.
Mhm.
I forget exactly what the
MIT. physicist.
MIT physicist, and he was able to figure out. Yep, I figured Justin entered the chat as soon as we started talking about the Yankees. Yes,
Yeah.
Justin Toner has entered the chat. He was talking about he can sense it. He can sense it. Bring up.
Yeah. Yeah.
He came
You
through
can
like a
smell Yankee.
torpedo. All pun intended.
Hey, I like it. I like it.
Yeah. So
Put you on the board.
yes, the Yankees did win. Now they're
Oh, yeah.
not. I mean, they're not like undefeated or anything. But that being said, I think they scored like 25 runs in 2 games or something. It was or 30 runs. I forget exactly what it was.
Yeah. The first, like 20, I think 20 in the first 3
Right.
games.
But
But,
they
still
got with
setting
this
records.
MIT physicist that was able to realize like the tip of the bat made it small. So the size of the bat is the same. It's just they've diminished the tip of the bat and added to more of the bulk of the bat and more towards the stem because a lot of hitters hit towards the bot. Like if they hit something, they still get a little bit more juice on the ball rather than if you had it. The sweet spot changed basically on the bat. These have been around from doing research on it. These have been around. It's just the first time that I think the physicists really honed in on the bat to really perfect it. Obviously, people are not excited about it.
Some people aren't.
Some people aren't. I honestly, it's the same thing with the tush push, which that's a foreshadow of a story we're going to get to later.
Yeah.
Everybody can use the bat, guys.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, is it the Yankees' fault that they're really good at using it? Now, baseball is going to be, because baseball loves to smell their own farts. So most of the time, they do.
No, that's just a perfect analogy for my thought of baseball. It's nothing but fart smell.
The purest of the
just
baseball.
sitting around farting, eating peanuts and Cracker Jacks.
So they, other teams are using it, like Justin said. So it's not like it's just, they've cracked the code on it. The tush push exists. Just one team's really so much better than the others at it. So now people are jealous and saying it should be banned because this other team's doing it. At the end of the day, It's not the Yankees' fault that they figured something out that's not illegal. Now, will they make it illegal? Probably if the Yankees go on and average 30 runs a game or something like that, and it's all because it's Torpedo Bat. I don't think it is. Plus, once they get to the playoffs, Aaron Judge forgets how to hit anyway, so it's fine.
Yeah. Well, and Judge isn't even using the bat.
No,
so he's still using the traditional one. And to kind of jump back a little bit, it's actually 15 home runs in 3 games. But but even from then, I mean, I think the most recent game they scored like 9 runs. I mean, it's been absolutely incredible. But
they're nailing the over.
Yeah. But the Yankees are just the early adopters of it.
Right.
Its technology's been there for a while. And this is actually from the actual manufacturer of the bats that they're and this is anybody can manufacture it, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like an open patent. I'm sure they're still selling it, but it's not like it's limited to just one company and exclusive. But here's the first one.
This is Torpedo Bat. You might have seen it this weekend. Little you know, it's been around for a while now. Last year we had some success with this bat in the playoffs with Giancarlo Stanton with the Yankees. The idea behind this is we don't want to hit the ball here. We want to hit it here. So a lot of these
Nope. Sorry about that. I did not know that was going to change. I was going to try and get to this though. So he kind of goes on to talk about basically they're just moving the hit section, right? I mean, some call it the label, the meat of the bat, the sweet spot, but they're basically just kind of moving it from the very end. And moving it a little bit closer to where a majority of them are actually swinging. And even like watching a few interviews, they actually invite the players down there and they figure out their spot. And it's still within regulations. It's still within the weight, kind of requirements, and it's legal. Mm-hmm. So it's not like they're doing anything that nobody else couldn't. So, just like we keep referring to the tush push, but just because somebody's better at it, I think, what was it? It was a little bit of a racist kind of saying, but it's the Indian, not the arrow. And so I'm Native American, by the way, guys. I can say that word. I can say that IN word. But it's just like you could put this Torpedo Bat in anybody's hands. You can put it in my hands. I'm not gonna be able to swing it as well as some of these other guys. So there's still a lot of that skill set. It's not like it's a corked bat. It's not like they're taking steroids. It's not like an insane advantage. It's just
there's no pine tar involved, basically.
Yeah, no pine tar, right? Yeah, I mean it's not something that's illegal. It's not banned. And it's something that is easily accessible by everybody, and multiple teams have already been ordering those bats too. So the Yankees are just the early adopters. You're going to see a lot more of it, but I mean, what are your continued thoughts on the bat, and maybe even just kind of with this description of it that you had sent over?
Honestly, if these other teams adopt it, it's going to make the game more interesting to watch.
Yeah,
because what do people love? Dingers. Mm-hmm. They love dingers. There's
offense.
A reason people still look forward to the home run derby, because people love dingers. And it's like the same thing with hockey. People love fights in hockey. They love that, like the part of it. So if you're sitting there watching a 0-1 game, it's not as fun as watching a 6-7 or whatever it is. It sucks if you're for fantasy baseball and they're pitchers, but I don't care. I'm not in fantasy baseball. Shout out to Jason. I hope your team's doing well. Yeah. For your fantasy baseball stuff there. But I just think this might make the game more exciting, which, if you make the game more exciting, then people don't like it because they like it, the pitcher's duel and stuff. And I'm sorry, I just don't care for that. I want to see some guy go up there and it just go back and forth. It just makes the game more tense and more exciting. So I know I said exciting about 15 times in that.
It excited me.
Yeah, there you go. So I'm all for it at this point.
I'm with you. You kind of mentioned the pitching aspect of it. That's going to be interesting because how is that going to change the game? Because now you have certain batters that this is going to benefit. It's not going to be for everybody. And we actually got an interview that really kind of breaks this down a little bit better.
8 or so teams that have ordered these torpedo bats going into even last year. Some guys don't like them. Some guys are hitting with them like, I don't like this. And some guys like them. So, at the end of the day, it's a preference. It's almost like, really quick, Pat, it's almost like golf clubs. For golf clubs, you go to get fitted for golf clubs, right? They're like, oh, hey, use this driver. You're better with a stiffer shaft. You're better with this. And all of a sudden, you're like, okay, that makes sense for me. That's what's starting to happening with bats in the big leagues, where they're like, okay, why are we all swinging the same bats that we've swung for so long? Let's try and get an advantage and figure out how we can make a bat that fits your needs better.
You're the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like, just like the golf clubs, right? I mean, this is just finally there's another bat in the mix, and people complain like, oh, well, why hasn't this been done before? And it's like, I don't know, it probably should have been, but sometimes we just get kind of we settle, or we take good enough, leave good enough alone, and what was it? Don't let perfection be the enemy of good. So I think it's kind of that, but we're in this new era. I mean, since Moneyball and other aspects of different sporting events and games, where we're leveraging data and science to maximize opportunity and potential.
That's another reason some baseball people were just like, oh my god, the nerds have ruined the game. I'm like, come on, guys. The game is boring as it is unless you're at the ballpark. I like I said, opening day, loved it. That was great. Live baseball.
Should have sent some pictures. We should have showed it. Yeah.
Yeah, I do. I do have. I thought I uploaded a couple pictures. Anyway, but yeah, it was great times, and I don't. And the thing, this is kind of like when people are like, "Oh, you can shoot. You get three points is more than 2, and you can utilize that arc." Oh my gosh! And now people saying that ruined the game. Steph Curry's ruined the game for NBA because he realized that 3 points is more than 2, and he's very efficient at it. It's not Steph Curry's fault. It's not this bat's fault.
Yep.
Everybody, the 3-point line is there for everybody. The Golden State Warriors just figured out a way to do it.
Yeah, there's a half court line for everybody too. That's apparently what he decided to shoot from.
Well, it's still.
Yeah. Yeah, that was, for Steph Curry, that was the one that really set it off, was his half court shot against Oklahoma City Thunder, and that was a dagger. It was like a bittersweet dagger, because it was like, oh god, you son of a bitch! God, that was so cool. That was like one of the best shots.
I'll be interested to see what the batting, when people are adopting these things, and like you were saying before we went live, is that where the bat is, the vibration is going to be different.
Yeah.
Okay? Yeah. That's why people wear. That's why they wear gloves, not just for grip, but it helps with the vibration. Yeah. When you actually make contact with the ball. I know I'm getting very basic here, but still just want to explain it.
Let's do it.
So it's the vibration. Bitch. Well, since you have put a different, even though it's same length, same diameter, but where the sweet spot is different. So therefore, the bat is going to react differently to the ball. It's going to go long. It's going to work for the Yankees, and it could work for other people. But like he was saying, it's like it might not work because it doesn't feel right, and the swing doesn't work, and it could lead to maybe some elbow injuries or something of that nature, just because of the vibration and how much trauma it may force. I don't think it's going to be an issue, I think, on that, but that is something that could happen. So I'm all, like I said, this is a fun development. It's intriguing. It's exciting. And I'm interested to see the batting averages for these batters over at the end of the season compared to, especially other like Aaron Judge, whatever. But like I'm interested to see some of these batters' batting averages from where they typically have been to where they will be at the end of this season, to see if how much effect the torpedo bat really does have.
Yeah. And speaking of, we have another video.
The new torpedo bats may have a health-related dark side. An MIT physicist with quite the resume is revolutionizing baseball by simply moving the fat part of the bat closer to where you're trying to make contact, which seems like something we could have figured out without an MIT physicist. And now that the Yankees are lapping the league in slugging percentage and breaking home run records, the complaints about these new torpedo bats are flying in. And those people may be on the right side, just not for the reason they think. See, some Yankees actually started using torpedo bats last year, including Giancarlo Stanton, who it's believed used them during the playoffs. And in the offseason, Stanton had PRP treatments on both elbows and is now out to start the year. What did Stanton say caused the issue in both elbows? Bat adjustments.
Yeah. So bad adjustment, and that was basically the prototype player. Last year. I mean, of course, there's others, but yeah. So Lean Hard is the MIT physicist, and I think he's actually with the Marlins because I saw an interview where he actually was wearing Marlins gear. So, but yeah, it's definitely something that's going to be changing the game, and I think changing it for the better. But I'm also not like the biggest baseball fan either. So there we go. Let me get that back. But yeah, I mean, any final thoughts on kind of opening weekend, or the Yankees, or even just Torpedo Bats in general?
For one thing, Giancarlo Stanton should have said that it hurt his running ability because he had the slowest base running I've ever seen. Ever. It was so sad when he got picked. I think he trotted slower than I walk. He ran slower than I walk. It was bad. And Justin knows exactly what I'm talking about because it was a big out in the World Series. I think it was World Series, either that or the Championship Series. But I'm pretty sure it was the World Series. And it was laughable how bad his base running is. But it's going to be, yes, I do. Thank you, Justin. So it's laughable.